You still can't clip them. Despite trailing at halftime for the first time this postseason, the Oklahoma City Thunder surged back in the second half, outscoring LA by 19 points out of the break. 125-107 is your final, and again, balanced in their excellence. 6 players in double figures for OKC as they take the 2-0 series lead. Joined now by CBS NBA analyst John Gonzalez with thoughts here on Game 2, John. And I want to go specifically to us coming out of the break. That third quarter seemed to be where things swung, and most all of it comes with SGA on the bench after the flagrant foul. What did you see specifically in those 12 minutes that flipped this game and maybe, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, solidified this series?
You can get ahead of yourself. This series is solidified. It's depth and defense for Oklahoma City, right? Because SGA was in early foul trouble, hasn't really played his best basketball in the first 2 games. That's the scary part, not just for the Lakers, but for the rest of the NBA, that Oklahoma City was kind of just toying with them. Like, okay, we're behind. At no point did anybody in that gym, I think, feel like Oklahoma City wasn't going to win that game. And so here comes their depth and their defense, right? So A.J. Mitchell, he slides into the starting lineup, gives you a quick 20. The 2 bigs, they were excellent tonight. Both of them almost had double-doubles. They combined for 6 steals and 4 blocks. And then the bench was so much infinitely better than, we know that the Lakers are a thin team, but it was pretty glaring tonight when Jared McCain almost outscored the Lakers bench all by himself. He had 18 points in 18 minutes. You got contributions from Kason Wallace, Alex Caruso, the other Jalen Williams, apologies to Jalen Williams, and Isaiah Joe. And so it's just, they come at you in waves, and they are probably the only team in the NBA that could lose a player of the caliber of Jalen Williams, J-Dub, and still be, we're okay, and also not have your best player, SGA, play at a high level. They won game 1 by 18, they win game 2 by 18, and that actually represents an improvement for the Lakers from the regular season. During the regular season, they lost all 4 games by an average of more than 29 points to Oklahoma City. So, yeah, this thing's a wrap, Joe.
Maybe if they played it 40 times, they'd finally catch him at some point. But I do want to drill into something you said there, because we've seen it time and again. We continue to detail it here post-game on HQ, the depth and the defense of the Oklahoma City Thunder. But what in their ecosystem arms these role players, for lack of a better term, to be these types of performers on these types of nights, specific to the McCain performance?
Yeah, well, Jared McCain is a guy, and I've talked about this before, who, if you picked a team in the NBA where you said, you know who couldn't use or doesn't need to use a Jared McCain, doesn't even need to go out and get a Jared McCain, you would land on Oklahoma City. And yet the Sixers, who could very much use a player like Jared McCain, who had him and was atrophying at the end of his bench, decided that they were going to give up on him and move along. And Daryl Morey famously or infamously said, I'm very confident that we're selling high. Well, I wonder what Daryl Morey is thinking tonight when Jared McCain's coming off the bench playing critical minutes for Oklahoma City and knocking down 3-ball after 3-ball with a big smile on his face on a night when they could use that offense, right? Again, SGA in foul trouble and no Jalen Williams. And then beyond a Jared McCain, you just have a whole bunch of guys who play great defense. They might not be big scorers, but you know that they're going to get after the other team defensively. And yet again tonight, they turned the Lakers over 21 times for 26 points. That is easy money for Oklahoma City. Game 1, they turned them over 18 times for 20 points. That's what Oklahoma City does. They make you make mistakes, and then they take your mistakes and they generate offense. So, yeah, those role players on any other team, they're probably starting, right? You could take a whole bunch of them and just sprinkle them on to other teams and say that they would be valuable starters, or if not starters, then, closer to 6-man minutes. And on Oklahoma City, they're just like, okay, we'll play 12 minutes and we're going to influence the game.
We'll get back on OKC here in a second, but a thought on the waning season once again for LeBron and the Lakers. I don't know how you're taking this all in, because it felt like when LA was looking for something on the offensive end, they were more times than not looking to Austin Reeves, or LeBron in some way was saving his bullets for the fourth quarter, and we did see a couple flurries drawing his team back within a handful of points. But do you sense the greatness of LeBron James is also sort of on a foundation of frustration right now, that he can't affect this game and this series the way he wants to?
Well, I think LeBron realizes the truth of the matter, right? The team that they're playing across the way is much better than them. They had a first-round series that a lot of people, including myself, thought that they were going to lose against the Houston Rockets because there wasn't an Austin Reeves for all but 2 games, and there was no Luka, and they still got out of the first round for the first time in 3 years. So I don't know what else anybody could ask of LeBron James. Like, LeBron James from 10 years ago with this Lakers team is not beating this Oklahoma City team. He's been really good this postseason. At 41 years old, he's buoyed this team where, with Marcus Smart stepping forward, he's made Marcus Smart better. Luke Kennard's had contributions. Jackson Hayes at times. I've been super critical of DeAndre Ayton. He wasn't great tonight. He just had some rebounds. But again, LeBron was throwing lobs to him earlier in the other series. And I think that LeBron is doing all he can, and there's only so much he can do. And even with Austin Reeves coming back, on a night when Austin Reeves, after a game one that was horrible for him, goes for 31 points, super efficient, knocks down some threes, he was really good. Those two guys were both good tonight. Doesn't matter, not enough. They just do not have the same amount of talent and the level of talent and the depth of talent that Oklahoma City has.
We are hurtling towards an eventuality that you and I both believe is staring us down. Series now 2-0. OKC knows what to do with it in their history. They've never coughed up a 2-0 series lead, and this doesn't appear to be a team that's got that in their DNA either. But I ask you this as we shift to LA. What is the carrot you dangle out in front of them? Do you make it historic? Do you offer the sweep? What do you say to keep this team motivated on a day-to-day, night-to-night basis?
Yeah, I mean, poor JJ Redick. The answer is I have no idea. I mean, like, you have to go out there and know that you're going to get your heads beaten by a team that consistently beats your heads in, right? Again, they played 4 times during the regular season, and Oklahoma City beat them by more than 29 points per game. Now, part of that is because the last game they played, Oklahoma City blew them out by such a huge number. It was over 40 points. It was the worst loss that the Lakers have suffered in years, so that skews the number a little bit. But again, game 1, they lose by 18. Game 2, they lose by 18. And in both of those games, Joe, Oklahoma City is just kind of like toying with them. Like, they seem kind of disinterested. SGA gets in foul trouble early. Nobody sweats it. They're behind. And then they just like put their foot on the gas late in the third and into the fourth quarter. And to your point about LeBron and like, what can he do here? There's not much. He's playing some of his best basketball at 41, like way better than I think anybody could possibly reasonably ask of somebody of his age who's had that many miles and has played that many games. And Austin Reeves comes back and he plays well. And Marcus Smart has had a good postseason, and none of it matters. I mean, these guys are headed for the offseason sooner than later. And that's okay, because the Lakers, a lot of people, again, including me, didn't think they'd get out of the first round. And when you run into Oklahoma City, you just know the writing's on the wall.
To your point, John, for those keeping track at home, 15.5. Felt like a dead ticket for most of the night, and then there you are with about 6 minutes left. Money in the bank. John Gonzalez, always that. Thank you, my friend. All right, a look here at the longest win streak to start a playoff. The defending champions stating intention clearly. 6 in a row, and no signs of slowing as they take the 2-0 series lead over the Lakers. When we return, we got reaction to what went down in Detroit. Cade Cunningham and the Pistons firing on all cylinders. That's next on CBS Sports HQ.